Now, this model here represents the amount of memory that you've got available on an 8-bit micro. You have 64K of memory, so we've made that height represent the 64K of memory that you can address with an 8-bit micro. Now, you split that memory up between 3 areas. On one particular micro that this represents, the BBC micro, over half of the available memory is set aside for the basic and for the operating system. And that leaves less than 32K for the 2 other things, the screen display and the user's program. This screen display here is just a 1K display, it's a character display. And that leaves a great deal for the user program. That's quite acceptable, but of course you haven't got any good graphics. On the other hand, you can use medium resolution graphics, which take up a lot more memory, and that gives you less memory for the program. Still acceptable, perhaps. If you really want to use high resolution graphics, then you've got very little program space left, really, for the program, and that can be quite embarrassing.
Well, the obvious question to ask is, why does this take up so much, and what's the payoff there?
Well, yes, one of the other alternatives would be to cut down the size of the basic and the operating system, and that's quite a reasonable strategy. If you do that, then you'll have a less flexible and less powerful basic interpreter, but on the other hand, you will end up with more space available for your user program, and that may be a better solution in some cases.
Of course, you could add on another processor or even some more memory, I suppose.
There are other solutions, right.
John, many commands in BASIC are common, whichever micro you have, but I have a feeling with graphics that they're widely different. Is that the case?
That's right. There are some things that are common. For example, the screen is always treated as a piece of graph paper, with the origin, 00, down at the bottom left, and about 1,000 addressable points across and 1,000 numbers up, so that the X numbers go up to 1,000 and the Y numbers up to about 1,000. In fact, 2 other things which are common are that you can take the pen that draws on the screen and you can move it on the screen.
Without drawing a line?
Without, that's right. Another thing which is very common is that you can draw a line on the screen. Those 2 are pretty common. Then, on different micros, you have different other additional commands. For example, you may have the command to go to another position, a third point, and draw and fill in a triangle. Let me show you those on the micro.
That's rather like the triangle on the UCH head. Once you've got a triangle, you can really design any shape or any colour you like.
Yes, absolutely, because you can make a square or a circle from triangles. Let me show you, first of all, the command move. Let's move to a position somewhere near the middle of the screen. And on this micro, that's about 500 across and 500 points up. We don't see anything happen because we've moved the pen, we haven't actually drawn a line. The other command, which is fairly common, is the draw one. So let's draw to a position, say 1,000 across and 600 points up. And the computer on this one draws a line immediately. Now, the third thing I'm going to show you is not common on all micros. We're going to draw this triangle, as you said. It's not very friendly on this machine, I'm afraid. It's the 85th option. It's plot 85. There are nearly 100 different things you can do. The 85th one is draw a triangle. And you have to say where to. Let's do it to position, say, 700 points across and maybe about 1,000 points up. Go. So that actually draws a triangle. Well, as you said, from a triangle you can build up almost any other shape, and I've got a program in here which will actually draw a pie chart, and that is a circle made up of different coloured segments.
Going out from the centre and drawing out little triangles.
That's right. Totally built up from triangles. Now, in fact, on some computers, for example the Sinclair Spectrum, there is actually a command to draw a circle straight away without having to build it up from triangles, and that can be very useful on occasions.
So it's very much easier, I suppose.
That's right.
Well, some people are already exploiting the technology of high-resolution graphics and providing a new kind of service for companies and small businessmen who want to promote their products or display their sales figures in a more attractive way.
We're not limited to colours for background. We can change them at will.
This graphics studio is beginning to find computers very useful. The designer is using an electronic painting system to show representatives from Rolls-Royce how computers can produce advertising artwork. He uses a graphics tablet, an electronic drawing board, both to draw with and to control the functions of the machine.
Take a picture, which we can input from the camera.
Existing pictures can be digitized directly into the computer's memory from an ordinary black and white television camera. Then the image can be altered and coloured in many different ways. He can use 256 colours at the same time, selected from a palette of 16 million.
Colours to the different areas.
You see the logo on the side of the engine?
Yeah.
Would you be able to put that into a different colour so that that stands out?
Yes, we
from,
could.
From the
From the black and white.
main product?
A wide choice of different styles of paintbrush is also available.
For instance, if you said, well, this really should be a red wing, we could take a new colour altogether. Let's take one of the reds down here. We paint on.
The designer can do almost anything he could do with traditional paint and paper. Much of the studio's routine work, like drawing sophisticated business charts and diagrams, used to be very time-consuming and therefore expensive. Now it can be done quickly and cheaply with the finished artwork on paper or photographic film. So what sort of business graphics could you get on this machine?
Well, you can draw, for example, a bar chart. That's one of the very useful things in business, showing for every month of the year a graph showing the height, representing the number of sales or something like that.
You can actually
achieved in
almost
each
see it drawing in little triangles as it's going up.
That's right. All these are built up from a whole set of little triangles, yes. But really that's not very exciting. It's a bit slow. The program was written in BASIC, and there's an alternative way. You can actually write the program instead in a thing called machine code, and that enables you to do the same sort of thing, but to do it a great deal faster.
To do it, it will run faster, but in fact it'll take a lot longer to program.
Yes, absolutely. Well, here's a game that's written in machine code, and as you'll see, it's a lot faster. This time, the user-defined characters move around the screen very, very much more rapidly.
That's the little man is one character and the monster's one character.
That's right. Now, in something like this, speed is absolutely critical. And it might be that in your business program, speed was really critical too. But where it is, you can use machine code, and where speed is not so critical, you can work with BASIC.
But it usually takes a lot longer to write if you're using machine code.
Indeed, there are disadvantages as well as advantages.
Well, thank you very much, John. Later on in the series, we'll have a second look at computer graphics on the Micro, when we'll investigate some more advanced techniques, including animation and computer-aided design. Until then, goodbye.